Using CRISPR to resurrect the dead. Gene editing breakthroughs could allow us to bring extinct species like the woolly mammoth back from the dead, but should we? It really is worse than you think, says Jackson Ryan of CNET.com. We've gorged ourselves on fossil fuels, vacuumed up the Earth's forests, and spewed toxic gases into the atmosphere for years on end. Yes, we have, knowing good and well that we were causing a problem. Okay, the planet is getting warmer, we're poisoning insect populations with reckless abandon and pulling fish out of the ocean at an alarming rate. Yes, we are pulling dead fish off of... This is just my opinion. We're pulling the dead fish off the ocean. We're poisoning the insect populations with all types of toxic chemicals, fallout from nuclear tests dating back to whenever they started. That's the reason we have no fish. Anyway, the most recent prognosis for the biodiverse Earth is incredibly grim, with 1 million species threatened with extinction in the coming decades. Yeah, if we hadn't have blown up so many things in the ocean and blown up so many things in the atmosphere and blown up so many things all in the name of national security, we might not be having all of these problems, but since we have these problems, then we try to fix it, and all we do is usually make things worse. The havoc we've generated has kick-started Earth's sixth greatest extinction event, the first by human hands. This rapid decrease in biodiversity due to human activity is unprecedented, but we may be able to reverse it. Well, let me stop right there for a second. In the true form of science and the people who believe in evolution, right there, shouldn't we just stay out of it and whatever happens, happens? If something goes extinct, it goes extinct. The survival, shouldn't the strongest survive according to everything you were ever taught by your evolutionary teachers? No, because that's not the way it works. It's all created, therefore we're trying to help save things. They cannot put it in those terms. If it wasn't a created life form, it would have no importance. It would just be something else dying out on Earth, and humans dying out too, but that's a whole different story. They have plenty of ways to fix that. CRISPR, to resurrect the dead. As we stuff and mount the dead in museum hallways, scientists are working to stop the carnage. One of our most powerful tools to fight biological obliteration is CRISPR, a burgeoning gene editing technology that acts like a molecular blade, slicing DNA apart and allowing us to add on and subtract genes at will. It now being used to combat invasive species, destroy antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and controversially edit the genes of human embryos. In fact, it's so exceptional at editing DNA that de-extinction, the process of bringing extinct species back from the dead, is on the table. Well, it seems that they have already unraveled the DNA code of the long-dead species such as the woolly mammoth, the passenger pigeon, and Australia's iconic Tasmanian tiger, and now pioneering researchers are using CRISPR to remake modern-day descendants in the image of their ancient counterparts. Could we transform an Asian elephant into a woolly mammoth? We are marching toward that reality. One more time, let me try that again. And now pioneering researchers are using CRISPR to remake modern-day descendants in the image of their ancient counterparts. Could we be bringing giants back this way? I mean, it's a woolly mammoth. Giant, maybe. The CRISPR revolution is the whole reason why we've been having these conversations about de-extinction, says Ben Novak, a biologist working on restoring the extinct passenger pigeon. The absolute reality is that human beings have complete dominion over life on this planet. Yeah, they're going to find out they're horribly wrong about that eventually. There are opponents of de-extinction, however. They point to our responsibility with species already living on the edge of extinction and ensuring we allocate resources to save them. Others are concerned about the ethics of resurrecting ancient beasts and how they might fit into current ecosystems as the planet chokes under the heavy cloud of climate change, or weather modification, whatever you want to call it. But right there, yeah, they died out because of something. And according to science, that means they didn't need to continue living. But now science says we need to bring it all back and see if we can make it live in what we have for it to live in. It's just crazy. It's a never ending circle of death from above, death from the water, death from the food. But they're going to resurrect you with CRISPR. And with other stuff I'll show you where they believe the AI can help you, if you're under 50, be able to live forever. It's all about eternal life on Earth. And they're going to find out they're barking up the wrong tree. The wrong tree indeed. The frozen edge of northern Russia is a woolly mammoth graveyard. The towering beasts roam this corner of the globe for 400,000 years, grazing in herds across the green steppes of Europe and North America, before disappearing 4,000 years ago. Today their remains periodically appear out of the Arctic from across Russia and Siberia, frozen in time, seeming just a short jolt away from shaking themselves back to life. Trapped under the ice for thousands of years, many of their biological features remain exquisitely preserved. Skin, muscle, and fur survive the deep freeze. The idea that these remains may contain traces of DNA, the necessary ingredient to recreate a mammoth, has captivated scientists for decades. I'm not going to continue to go on. It does say that there are technologies that may even surpass CRISPR now, called tau deaminases. I'm going to look into that. I will leave a link to this article because it goes into the very long breakdown of the woolly mammoth, and that's really not the important part of this. When they start talking about resurrecting the dead, and they start talking about bringing the ancients back to life, can we turn an Asian elephant into a woolly mammoth? Well, if we can do that, you can insert different words in there, and you can get whatever you want. That's where they're at with this technology. If you don't believe that, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But when they start to tell you, hey, we can bring a woolly mammoth back, they can do just about anything with that technology. So they're telling you right here, using CRISPR to resurrect the dead. And they don't talk about the woolly mammoth right there across the top. Now, we have people that have frozen themselves waiting for the time when they can be reanimated and brought back and live forever. I'm going to continue to go over these news articles that I'm into. If you're interested in them, you can follow along, and it'll show you what technologies that they're using, what technologies they will use to track us even more and have us like it. So I appreciate anybody listening. I hope y'all have a great day.